So, who's really the top dog on this planet? Is it us, with our brains and our tools? Or is it the animal kingdom, with its raw instinct and power? Well, today, we're going to try and settle that debate once and for all. We've got an epic series of challenges lining up human champions against their animal counterparts. And we are testing everything. I'm talking raw strength, explosive speed, even smarts, and the will to survive when things get intense. This is the ultimate showdown. So who are you putting your money on, man or animal? All right, let's kick things off with round one. And we're starting with the most basic test you can imagine. Pure, raw power. No tricks, no fancy strategies, just a straight-up contest of physical strength. Let's see who comes out on top. First up, we've got a tug-of-war. In one corner, there's Brian, a guy who literally pulls airplanes for fun. And in the other, a 500-pound lion. What's so cool here is how they both approach it. The lion, being a predator, is all about that explosive power, but it's playing the long game, just holding its ground, saving energy, trying to wear Brian down. It's pure instinct.
But Brian's strength is all about endurance, the kind you build in a gym. He just took the lion's initial surge of power and then simply outlasted him. Wow, that is a shocking first point for humanity, proving that steady power can actually beat predatory force. Team Man is on the board, 1-0.
Okay, so man takes the point for endurance, but what about pure explosive power? Next up, a high jump competition. We've got Darius, the world's highest jumper, going up against a Siberian tiger. And let me tell you, a tiger's hind legs are basically coiled springs of muscle. Lured by some bait, the tiger just effortlessly clears a bar set at over 10 feet. You are not going to believe this. Darius didn't just beat the tiger's jump, he completely shattered his own Guinness World Record, clearing an incredible 12 feet, 3 inches. And his reaction in this quote just says it all. After making the highest jump in human history, he just casually says, "I feel like I can go higher." Amazing. And just like that, humanity is on a roll. That's 2 challenges down and 2 wins against some of nature's most incredible athletes. Team Man is pulling ahead with a commanding 2-0 lead. So, raw power is one thing, but how do we stack up when we're faced with, life or death danger? This next round tests something totally different. It's about courage, guts, and thinking on your feet when your life is on the line. Here's the setup. A professional bull rider named Bubba has to survive for 3 minutes in an arena with 3 very, very angry bulls. But he's not just surviving, oh no. He's also grabbing bags of cash while dodging 4,500 pounds of pure muscle and horns. It is absolute calculated chaos. But you know what? For a guy who does this for a living, it was basically just another day at the office. Bubba was laughing, he was taunting the bulls, and he walked out of there $50,000 richer. What an incredible way to keep your cool under pressure. That's another win, bringing the score to 3-0 for Team Man.
Okay, for our next competitor, Nick, the choice was, well, terrifying. He had to spend 1 minute in a ring with either a 500-pound professional sumo wrestler or a grizzly bear. And, he made the smart choice. He went with the sumo. Still a massive opponent, but at least one who plays by some rules.
And he almost did it. You can see on the timeline, he's just hanging on for dear life, using pure grit to stay in that ring. He makes it past the 30-second mark, then all the way to 59 seconds, but with just 1 single second left on the clock, the sumo's power is too much, and he gets pushed out. So heartbreakingly close.
And with that, Team Animal is finally on the board. As Nick put it himself, that sumo wrestler was an animal looking like a human. This is a huge point for the animal kingdom, and it just goes to show that when it comes to pure mass and focused power, we are often outmatched. The score is now 3-1. Okay, so we've tested strength and we've tested courage. Now, let's move into a whole new arena, where it's not about muscle, it's about what's going on upstairs. This is a battle of smarts, creativity, and strategy. First up, a paint-off. We've got comedian Trevor Wallace versus an elephant named Isla, who is apparently a pretty well-known artist in her community. They brought in a professional art judge to score the paintings blind, and the result? Well, it was decisive. The judge gave the comedian's art a 2 out of 10, while the elephant's masterpiece got a stunning 8 out of 10. That's another point for Team Animal, and just like that, they are making a serious comeback.
The score is now a nail-biting 3-2. What looked like a runaway for humanity is suddenly anyone's game.
The pressure is really on for this next challenge. It's a massive game of hide and seek. 5 elite soldiers have to use all their training to hide from a team of highly skilled search dogs all night long in a huge junkyard. This is human strategy versus the dog's incredible sense of smell.
And guess what? Even with those amazing dogs, human ingenuity won out. The soldiers didn't just find a good hiding spot, they thought it through. They masked their scent in water, they laid false trails, they used the environment. And in the end, 2 of them stayed hidden until morning, clinching a super important point for Team Man. The score is now 4-2.
So it all comes down to this, the grand finale, a contest of pure, blinding speed. But this last victory, it's not just about a scoreboard. It comes with a bit of a twist that kind of reframes this whole entire competition.
So the challenge pits the fastest land animal on Earth, the cheetah, against a few of our own inventions. And like you'd expect, it's no contest against a golf cart or a minivan. The cheetah just leaves them in the dust. But then it lines up against a Formula E race car. And that's where man's technology finally outpaces nature's perfect design. It's a win for human engineering.
So man wins the competition. But this is where we need to pause and ask a much bigger question. This same ingenuity, the thing that lets us build cars that can outrun a cheetah, what's the real impact of that? What's the real price of this kind of win?
Think about this for a second. Back around 1900, right when the first cars were being made, there were over 100,000 cheetahs roaming the wild, a healthy, thriving population of these amazing speedsters.
Today, that number is less than 8,000. It's a catastrophic drop. Our progress, our big technological wins, they've come at a huge cost to the very creatures we're competing against. It's like we're winning the race, but they're disappearing from the track altogether.
And this quote really brings it all home. The point of all this was never really about dominating animals in some made-up contest. It's about realizing that our greatest challenge and our most important victory is to use our brains and our skills, not to beat them, but to protect them. Because really, what's the point of winning if we end up being the only ones left in the race?